1942, so I'm 51. I was just saying to Keith, I'm not looking as if I'm 51, but I mean, even 4 years ago, I never looked at my age. But I'm looking every bit of 51 now. Yeah.
When he was a child in Salò, is it true?
In where?
In Salò, in the north of Italy?
Well, I'm saying yes. I mean, I was in Maggiore. My father witnessed all sorts of bits and pieces at the end of the occupation of Italy, like the Argentine caves, the massacre there, and was actually used as a witness at the trial of the German man in Venice in about 1947-48. So I was brought up with those sort of images, you know, that moment of Italy. You know, when Rome had no cars, just bicycles. And there were no one in Rome in those days except priests. I have to say nowadays there don't seem to be so many human beings seem to have crept in, but I mean, Rome, when I was a child in 1947, was just all these priests on bicycles. I remember them, all in black. And my father used to be very rude about them. I wasn't exactly brought up as a very good Catholic. And he went and he got a rosary from the Pope. And he refused to kiss the Pope's hand. I remember this as a bit of a scandal. He shook it. He said, I was going to kiss the hand of the Pope. He said, I put my hand out and I shook it. And he was given this rosary, which I don't know what happened to, but I mean, you know, by the Pope, by Pius. It was very interesting, and we lived in a very lovely house, which had been requisitioned. It had actually been Admiral Ciano, you know, Mussolini's foreign secretary. Well, his uncle, I think he was an uncle. The first thing about Italy was that there was sunlight. After, you can't imagine how grim England had been during the war. It was horrible. And we came down here and there was suddenly sunlight, and I mean, literally, as a child, a very young child, it was a sort of revelation. I mean, you know, it's like breathing or something. And then we were in an incredibly privileged position, yeah, you can imagine. And in these houses that had been requisitioned, so they were very grand. I mean, big houses. And I mean, I think the story of Lago Maggiore, of Villa Quasi, is funny because it was a huge villa on the side of the lake.